Are your daily vitamins secretly weakening your legs? It might sound unbelievable, but for many seniors, it's true. Every morning, millions of older adults reach for their daily supplements, believing they're supporting their health, boosting energy, or protecting their heart. But what if some of those pills are quietly doing more harm than good? If you've noticed your legs feeling weaker, if getting up from a chair is tougher than it used to be, or if stairs feel more intimidating lately, it may not just be aging. It could be something in your supplement routine. Leg strength isn't just about staying active, it's about holding onto your independence, preventing dangerous falls, and staying mobile as you age. In this video, we're revealing 3 common vitamins that could be silently stealing your strength, and most importantly, what you can do instead to stay strong, steady, and confident. Let's take a closer look. Number 1. The silent muscle weakener, vitamin E. Let's start with a vitamin you probably didn't expect to be on this list, vitamin E. For decades, it's been marketed as a miracle nutrient. You've probably heard that it supports heart health, protects your skin, and even slows down aging. That's why it's so common to find vitamin E in multivitamins, standalone supplements, and all sorts of anti-aging formulas. Many seniors take it daily, often without thinking twice. It seems harmless, after all, it's just a vitamin, right? But here's the thing, not all vitamins are safe in high doses, and vitamin E is one of those that can quietly cause harm when taken in excess, especially for older adults. Vitamin E is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means your body stores it in fat tissues and the liver. Unlike water-soluble vitamins such as vitamin C or B vitamins, which are flushed out through urine when your body doesn't need them, fat-soluble vitamins stick around. Over time, this can lead to toxic levels, especially if you're taking high-dose supplements every day without realizing it. Now, here's where the concern really begins. When vitamin E builds up too much in your system, it can start interfering with important processes in your muscles and nerves. Specifically, it can disrupt neuromuscular function, meaning the connection between your nerves and muscles doesn't work as well as it should. For someone already losing muscle mass naturally with age, this can be a serious problem. Gradually, you may begin to notice your legs feeling weaker, or your balance not being what it used to be. And it usually doesn't happen all at once. The signs are subtle and easy to ignore at first. Maybe you find it a little harder to stand up from your favorite chair. Or maybe you feel a little more unsteady while walking through the grocery store. You might chalk it up to aging or a bit of fatigue. But what's really happening is that your muscles are weakening from within, and vitamin E could be playing a big role in that process. Another symptom to watch for is fatigue during everyday movement, especially in your legs and hips. Your muscles may feel tired more quickly than they used to. And because vitamin E can also thin the blood, people who are already on blood-thinning medications are at even higher risk. This increases the chance of bruising, internal bleeding, and potentially serious complications if you fall, even from something as simple as tripping over a rug or missing a step. What makes this situation even more concerning is that it's often misdiagnosed or overlooked. Most people assume these issues, like feeling wobbly, slow, or easily tired, are just part of getting older. But in reality, they might be related to something as small and simple as a daily supplement that's no longer appropriate for your age or health status. So, what can you do instead? The good news is that vitamin E is still important, but you don't need it in such high doses, and you definitely don't need to get it from a pill. Nature already provides us with plenty of vitamin E-rich foods that your body can absorb more safely. Great options include sunflower seeds, almonds, spinach, and avocados. These natural sources give your body just what it needs without the risk of overload. Also, it's a smart move to talk with your doctor, especially if you've been taking high-dose vitamin E for years. Ask if it's still necessary. Bring in your supplements and review them together. You'd be surprised how many people are taking dosages far above what's recommended, just because the bottle said heart healthy or immune support. One more thing to keep in mind: if you're taking multiple supplements, be sure to add up all sources of vitamin E. It might be hiding in your multivitamin, in your skin formula, and in your daily brain booster. The cumulative total could be putting you well over safe levels without you realizing it. To sum it up, vitamin E isn't the enemy, but too much of it can quietly erode your muscle strength, especially in your legs. That can affect your balance, mobility, and independence, things we all want to protect as we get older. So instead of loading up on high-dose pills, consider making the switch to whole foods and discussing your supplement plan with your doctor. Your legs will thank you, and so will your future self. Number 2, the bone and muscle drainer, vitamin A. Let's move on to another vitamin that many seniors trust to support their health, vitamin A. It's long been praised for its benefits to vision, skin, and immune function, and it's a staple in many multivitamins, fortified foods, and even old-school remedies like cod liver oil. Sounds healthy, right? But here's the truth. Just like vitamin E, vitamin A is fat-soluble, meaning it doesn't leave your body easily. Instead, it builds up, quietly and gradually, until it can start doing damage without you even realizing it. The human body is amazing, but as we age, it doesn't process nutrients quite the same way. Our liver slows down, our muscles recover more slowly, and our bones naturally become thinner. This means we have less room for error when it comes to supplements, and too much vitamin A can tip the balance in the wrong direction. One of the biggest concerns with excess vitamin A is its effect on your bones, especially in the hips and legs, the very bones that help us walk, balance, and stay independent. Studies have shown that high levels of vitamin A are linked to accelerated bone loss. And for older adults, even a small drop in bone density can have serious consequences. A simple misstep, a stumble on a rug, or a slip in the kitchen can turn into a fracture that changes your life. But the danger doesn't stop with your bones. Muscle strength can also be compromised. Many seniors report a growing heaviness or ache in their hips or thighs, especially after walking or standing for long periods. These symptoms are easy to brush off. We tell ourselves, well, I'm just getting older, or I probably overdid it yesterday. But what if it's not aging? What if it's the supplement you're taking every morning, thinking it's helping you? One of the tricky things about vitamin A is that it comes from many sources, and they can stack up quickly. Cod liver oil is naturally high in vitamin A. Add to that a multivitamin, a fortified breakfast cereal, and perhaps some liver in your diet, and you could easily exceed the recommended amount without knowing it. Because vitamin A accumulates in your body, this can lead to chronic toxicity, especially if you've been taking it daily for months or years. Here are some warning signs to watch for: aches in your hips or upper legs that don't seem to go away. Fatigue after walking, even short distances. A growing reluctance to take the stairs or go on walks, not from fear or laziness, but because your legs just don't feel the way they used to. These aren't just signs of aging. They could be your body's quiet way of saying, something's off. So, what's the solution? First, it's important to know that vitamin A is still essential, but it's all about the type and the amount. The safer form for most people, especially seniors, is beta-carotene, the plant-based version found in colorful vegetables like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and kale. Unlike retinol, the active form of vitamin A found in supplements and animal products, beta-carotene doesn't build up to toxic levels. Your body converts it into vitamin A only when needed, offering a built-in safety mechanism. If you're currently taking a vitamin A supplement, especially if it's retinol-based or from cod liver oil, you may want to reevaluate. Are you also getting vitamin A from other supplements or fortified foods? It's easy to double or triple up without noticing, and that's where the risk lies. One small change could make a big difference in your energy, strength, and bone health. Also, consider asking your doctor for a vitamin A blood test, especially if you've been supplementing for a long time. Most people only get routine labs, which often don't check for vitamin levels unless specifically requested. A nutrient panel can reveal if your vitamin A levels are creeping into the danger zone. The takeaway here is simple but important: more isn't always better, especially when it comes to fat-soluble vitamins like A. What once seemed like a smart health habit could now be undermining the very things you're trying to protect: your bones, your muscles, and your ability to move through life freely. Instead of relying on high-dose supplements, lean into whole foods. Let your nutrition come from your plate, not your pill bottle. It's not just safer, it's also how your body was designed to thrive. Number 3, the nerve damager, vitamin B6. Now let's talk about a vitamin that's often marketed as an energy booster and brain helper, vitamin B6. You'll find it in all kinds of products aimed at seniors: multivitamins, energy blends, memory support pills, and even mood-enhancing supplements. It's often seen as harmless because, unlike vitamins A and E, vitamin B6 is water-soluble. And usually, we're told that water-soluble vitamins are safe because the body gets rid of what it doesn't need. But here's the surprising part: vitamin B6 can still build up to toxic levels, especially if you're taking more than one supplement that contains it. And when it does, it doesn't just cause mild side effects, it can do real, lasting damage to your nerves, particularly those in your legs and feet. One of the most dangerous outcomes of too much B6 is something called peripheral neuropathy. This condition affects the nerves that control sensation and movement in your limbs. It often starts subtly. Maybe you notice a tingling in your toes, or a slight numbness that comes and goes. At first, you might ignore it or assume it's poor circulation. But over time, that tingling can spread. You may begin to feel like your legs are asleep more often, or that your feet don't quite connect with the ground the way they used to. Some people describe it as a dead leg feeling, like your legs aren't fully yours anymore. Others notice they're tripping over nothing, or that their gait is a little off when walking across the room. Stairs become more intimidating, and a fear of falling can start to take hold. This kind of nerve damage doesn't just affect your body, it chips away at your confidence, your sense of control, and your independence. It's heartbreaking because many people experiencing these symptoms assume it's just part of getting older. Or worse, they fear they might be developing a condition like multiple sclerosis or diabetic neuropathy. But in reality, the culprit may be sitting in their bathroom cabinet, a B6 supplement they've been taking for years. So, how much is too much? The upper limit for B6 is generally set at 100 milligrams per day, but many over-the-counter supplements exceed this, especially if you're taking multiple products. A daily multivitamin might have 20 to 40 milligrams, your energy booster adds another 50, and a memory support supplement adds 30 more. Before you know it, you're well over the safe threshold every single day. And here's the really tricky part: the damage caused by B6 toxicity doesn't always go away, even after you stop taking it. Some people experience long-term or even permanent nerve damage, resulting in constant numbness, poor coordination, or chronic leg weakness. That's a steep price to pay for something that was supposed to give you energy or clarity. So, what can you do to stay safe? First, check all your supplements. Look at every label, not just your multivitamin, but also any product labeled for memory, energy, or mood. You might be shocked at how much B6 is hiding in your routine. Second, remember that the best source of B6 is real food. Your body is much better at handling nutrients from natural sources like bananas, avocados, potatoes, turkey, and chickpeas. These foods provide just the right amount, enough to support your nervous system, without putting it at risk. If you're experiencing any kind of numbness, tingling, or strange sensations in your legs or feet, talk to your doctor and ask for a blood test to check your vitamin B6 levels. Most people never think to ask, and unfortunately, most routine blood work doesn't include this unless you request it. But catching a B6 overload early can make a huge difference in reversing symptoms and protecting your long-term mobility. Lastly, don't assume that more is better. It's easy to fall into that trap, especially when supplements are marketed with promises like energize your mind, support mental clarity, or boost your mood. But when it comes to B6, more can quietly rob you of your strength, your balance, and your sense of security in your own body. Let's not forget, our legs aren't just for walking. They're the foundation of our independence. They carry us through life, allow us to shop, cook, travel, visit loved ones, and live with dignity. The very last thing we want is for something we took to help us to be the thing that slowly takes that away. So take a moment to reevaluate. Look at what you're taking daily. Ask yourself if it's necessary, and have a conversation with your healthcare provider about your supplement routine. Knowledge is power, and the more we understand about what goes into our bodies, the better we can protect the strength, movement, and freedom that keep us going. The bigger picture, your leg strength matters. As we grow older, it's easy to chalk up every ache, every stumble, and every bit of fatigue to just getting older. It's what we're told, what we expect, and what we often accept. But what if that story isn't entirely true? What if the muscle weakness, leg fatigue, or balance issues you're feeling aren't just age catching up, but rather the silent side effects of the very supplements you've trusted to keep you healthy? The truth is, gradual muscle and nerve decline doesn't always come from aging alone. Sometimes, it's caused, or worsened, by overuse of certain vitamins, especially vitamin E, vitamin A, and vitamin B6. These nutrients are important in the right amounts, but when taken in excess, especially over months or years, they can quietly sabotage the strength in your legs, the coordination in your steps, and the confidence in your balance. This means that what you've believed to be a normal part of aging may actually be preventable damage, caused not by time, but by habit. A well-intentioned daily pill might be slowly wearing down your muscles or dulling the nerves in your legs without warning. But here's the good news. When we recognize the signs early, we can take back control. Reviewing your supplements, asking the right questions, and making small, informed changes can protect your strength and independence for years to come. Your legs carry your freedom. Don't let unnecessary supplements take that away from you. Aging may be inevitable, but how you age is up to you. What you should do now. Now that you know the hidden dangers behind certain vitamins, you may be wondering, what should I do next? The good news is, you don't need to panic or throw away every bottle in your cabinet. But you do need to take a few intentional steps to protect your health, your leg strength, and your independence. Step 1. Review every supplement you take. Go through every vitamin, multivitamin, or health supplement you take, daily or occasionally. Look at the labels. Ask yourself, what's in this? Do I really need it? Be on the lookout for vitamin E, vitamin A, especially as retinol, and vitamin B6. You may be surprised at how many different products include them, sometimes in high doses. Step 2. Check the dosage. Many seniors unknowingly take more than the recommended daily amounts, not because of one pill, but because of several that add up. For example, a multivitamin, an energy supplement, and a fortified cereal could all contribute to excess levels. Know what you're consuming in total. Step 3. Talk to the right doctor. Not all doctors specialize in senior health. If you can, find a provider who understands the unique needs of older adults, like a geriatrician or a functional medicine doctor. Bring your supplement list with you. Let them know about any leg weakness, balance issues, or tingling you've experienced. Step 4. Ask for a nutrient panel. Request blood work that includes vitamin levels, especially vitamin A, vitamin E, and vitamin B6. These aren't always included in routine labs, so be specific. Your doctor can see if you're storing too much and guide you on how to adjust safely. Step 5. Focus on food first. Whenever possible, get your nutrients from real food. Your body is better at absorbing vitamins from natural sources like fruits, vegetables, lean meats, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. These foods are balanced by nature and much safer than oversupplementation. Remember, this isn't about fear. It's about empowerment. Your strength and mobility matter. With a few mindful changes, you can protect your body, stay active, and live independently for many more years to come. Another hidden danger: inactivity. Even if you've carefully balanced your vitamin intake, there's another silent threat that can weaken your legs, and it's something most of us do without even thinking about it: sitting too much. In today's world, prolonged sitting is the norm, whether it's reading, watching TV, or just resting between errands. And while taking it easy may feel like the safest option, especially as we age, inactivity comes with its own serious consequences. When we sit for long periods, our leg muscles begin to shrink from disuse. And when those muscles weaken, your balance suffers, making everyday movements, like standing from a chair or walking upstairs, more difficult and even dangerous. At the same time, inactivity contributes to bone loss, especially in the hips and legs, increasing the risk of fractures from even minor falls. You don't need a gym membership or intense workouts to fight back. What matters most is consistency and movement. A short walk around the house, gentle chair exercises, or a few minutes of leg stretches can preserve your muscle strength, improve circulation, and protect your bones. Even standing up and moving every hour makes a difference. Think of movement as medicine. Just like you're cautious with supplements, be intentional about how often you use your legs. Your body is designed to move, and it thrives when you do. So if you're taking steps to protect your health through nutrition, don't forget to move your body. It's one of the simplest, most effective ways to stay strong, steady, and independent as you age. Every step counts, literally. A message from a fellow senior. Let me speak to you not as a doctor, not as an expert, but as someone who's walked a long road and seen a lot along the way. I've lived through decades of change, watched the world evolve, and learned that aging isn't the enemy, it's the assumptions we make about it that hold us back. I've seen friends, neighbors, even my own family members slowly lose their strength, their balance, and eventually their independence, not because of some terrible illness, but because of well-intentioned habits they thought were helping. They took the same vitamins every day, trusting the label, never knowing that the pills they believed were protecting them were, over time, quietly making their legs weaker and their steps less sure. That's why I'm urging you now: be mindful. Be alert. Be wise. You've lived long, so live strong. Listen to your body. Don't ignore the small changes, the hesitations, the weariness in your legs. These things matter. They're whispers from your body, trying to tell you something before it shouts. You've earned the right to move with confidence, to walk into each day on your own 2 feet, steady and proud. Don't let outdated habits or silent mistakes rob you of that. You still have power, you still have time. So take control. Ask questions. Reassess what you've been told. And remember, the goal isn't just to live longer, it's to live better, with freedom, purpose, and strength. Your leg strength is your independence. It's what keeps you moving, steady, and self-reliant. And now, you have the knowledge to protect it. Use this information to take a closer look at your daily routine. It's never too late to make a change that supports your health and future. Small steps, like reviewing your supplements or moving more each day, can help you reclaim your confidence, balance, and mobility. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which vitamin are you going to check today? Share one thing you've learned in the comments. And if you found this helpful, subscribe for more health tips designed especially for seniors, because living longer should also mean living stronger.